Wasted Water Sports crew, ahoy! How's everybody doing? Thank you so much for sitting up late with me, joining me here for the kickoff of the Rugby Championship. Shorty Aussie, ahoy mate! John Michael, ahoy! Some very hardcore moments coming up indeed. Wasted Water Sports live on YouTube, live on Twitch, live on TikTok. If I sound like I've only just woken up, it's because I have. Yes, indeed. These games over in South Africa, very early in the morning for us here in Australia. And I tell you what, I hope it's worth getting up for. Because at the moment, the Springboks, hands down, the best team in the world. And this is going to be a big, big test for the Wallabies, who, of course, got victory over the British and Irish Lions in the third test, but ultimately they lost that entire series. Now, Geordie Aussie, here's the talking point straight away. During the British and Irish Lions tour, Nick White retired from international rugby. Not even a month later, I mean, what's it been, a couple of weeks since the British and Irish Lions tour? Nick White has returned from retirement to play for the Wallabies here in the Rugby Championship. What a long and prosperous retirement it's been for Nick White. Welcome back. Crazy stuff, right? Honestly, that might be the shortest retirement that we've ever seen before a player's done a backflip. And we've seen it happen before. Players have done a backflip on retirement. But honestly, that quickly? So funny, but Nick White is back. Now, here's an interesting stat. Just to give the Wallabies fans a little bit of hope, I saw somewhere that the last time the Wallabies won in South Africa, it was quite some time ago, but the last time the Wallabies got a victory in South Africa, James O'Connor was playing for the Wallabies. James O'Connor returns to the Wallabies squad for this game. So there's an interesting little tidbit. Could that be a positive omen for the Wallabies? I'm thinking probably not, but this Lockie Wood, ahoy mates. This game is live and exclusive in Australia anyway on Stan Sport. I was talking about this a little bit in the Rugby League earlier today, and I just thought, what a missed opportunity here for Rugby Australia to hide this game in behind a paywall. Dan, ahoy there, mate. Score prediction. Oh. Well, Springboks to win. As you can see, I've got that in my multi. Springboks to win. Springboks to win by, I'm thinking at least 15 points. As the Wallabies run out onto the field. Will, ahoy, mate. Marissa Cruiser, ahoy. Scaife 97, ahoy, mate. They're up 24-0 at the moment, aren't they? Bit of a spanking happening the last I had the Super League on. Mr. Mullet, ahoy there, mate. Can the Aussies win? It's always a loaded question, isn't it, that one? I mean, can they win? Yes. Will they? Well, it's not very likely. Youngie, ahoy, mate. Big upsets tonight in both codes. It has been a tough round to pick. South Africa have got their game faces on. The best team in the world right now. and they look very, very focused, very, very determined. Oh God, I feel so sorry for the Wallabies here. I think they're about to get pumped. Looking at the faces of the Springbok players, they are up for this. I feel like this is their Rugby Championship to lose as well. Such determination there on the faces. Matty Colkin, I'm not sure why this is not on free to air. I feel like it's a big missed opportunity to hide this one behind the paywall. All the Bledisloe Cup games are going to be on free to air, but for some reason, they're hiding this one away on Stan Sports. Oh, we're having a moment of silence. More people have passed away. Dorhe Snyman, former Springbok utility back. Cruiser says it's not on Foxtel either. No, that's right. Foxtel lost the rights to all the rugby union. Australian Rugby signed a big mega deal with Stan Sport and Channel 9. And let's just say that Murdoch wasn't happy. As soon as the deal was signed, News Corp started putting rugby union down, hidden in all their menus. It was quite funny. No pettiness there or anything. They've since moved it back up again, but yeah, that was quite funny when it first happened. They're like, we'll show them. We're going to move all the rugby union news into the more section. Hidden away. As if we went to Fox Sports for news anyway, right? John Michael says the pastor at my old church, who is a Kiwi, used to show Bledisloe Cup matches on the big screen. But yes, there's quite a few church groups that do that, actually. For State of Origin as well. My parents' church, they put the State of Origin up on the big screen each year. And likewise, back when I was younger and much younger, obviously, and I was in youth group, the youth pastor at that church was Kiwi as well. He used to put the rugby up on the big screen in the main church hall. Well, assuming that it wasn't on a regular service night. Lots of passion here from the South Africans. Honestly, they look so up for this. Youngie, ahoy, mate. Youngie over there on TikTok. Love your passion in your codes. Very passionate. Was looking for your live last night. Can't remember if I was on last night or not. Apparently not. But yes, welcome along, Youngie. Love all sports, really. And honestly, if there were more time, more free time in the day, I would probably cover more here as well on the Wasted World of Sports. But yeah, I'm trying to think if I was What were the games yesterday? All the days just kind of blend together for me now. Dan says we get most sport on Sky Sports in England. However, we get all the NRLW games, but only half the NRL games. That's craziness. Bulldogs and Roosters. Yeah, okay. I don't think I did Bulldogs and Roosters on TikTok. That would make sense then. Youngie, your stuff doesn't work at home much due to internet issues, but love your lives. Yeah, Brisbane represent. Cheers. Oh, this is exciting. Kickoff moments away. There is Joey Swalihi. They need a big performance from him. DJ Shaq, ahoy, mate. How was nightclubbing? You ended up at karaoke, didn't you? It happened. Referee blows the whistle. Nick White, straight out of retirement and into the Rugby Championship, gets us underway. First use of it with the home side as Diego brings it down, and the Springboks set up a ruck just inside their own 22. Looking to clear now. Williams with the box kick, chasing through and putting pressure on at the back. And who's dropped that? Was it Tom Wright who's lost it? Knock-on advantage for the Springboks. They immediately spread it wide to the right. And there's our boy, Ardency. Anytime try scorer. Oh, yeah, by the way, 4 legs. Springboks to win outright. Malcolm Marks, Max Jorgensen, and Kurt Lee Ardency. Anytime try. And I tell you what, this is expansive stuff from the Springboks to start. Spreading the ball to the right side, back to the left. And now they settle it down in midfield. Van Staden drives forward. There's the big ox waiting for it. The pick and go. Estebeth sends it out for Van Staden again. They're right in front of the post here, South Africa. What a start it's been. Malcolm Marks, 10 meters out. Williams breaks away. Springboks edging ever closer. Charging onto it now. At pace. Out they go wide to the left. And Kurt Lee Ardency. The first tick off the multi. And the Springboks are up 5 points to 0. Kick to come. Oh, I told you they had their game faces on. The Springboks, they had the game faces on. You could tell in the warm-ups. You could tell during the anthems. And the Wallabies were caught well short here as the Springboks spread it wide to the left edge. And Kurt Lee Ardency goes over, and Will Skelton's down in back play. Will Skelton down in back play with the trainer. Well, he's not even in back play. He's actually directly in the line of sight as Lebok lines this one up. He doesn't care, though. He continues with his kick. Puts it down the middle. Springboks leads 7 points to 0. What a start for the home side. Incredible. They spread the ball right. They spread the ball back left. And the Wallabies just didn't have the width on their defense. Dream start here for the Springboks. Nick White gets us restarted. Diego with another clean take. And again, carbon copy of how it started. Williams told to use it. The box kick is set. Williams puts it high, contestable. Carbon copy again. Ardency leads the chase, and it's been lost again by the Wallabies. Knock-on advantage. South Africa immediately spread it wide to the right. And Fussy will now clear, puts it out on the full. And the referee will say advantage over Wallabies ball. Wow. The pace that the Springboks have started this game at. Not afraid to shift wide early on. They are not mucking around. This is a gift for the Wallabies, though. They've got to make it pay. Got to make it count. Job number one, done. The Wallabies win the line-out ball. Ikitau sets up the ruck. White looks down the short side. Wrap around for Ikitau, who now kicks. The chasers are going through. Peach is coming through, putting pressure on. But well taken at the back there by Van der Merwe. Penalty to the Springboks. High tackle. Wilson, I believe it might have been. Dangerous tackle is the call. Wallabies not able to take advantage. 7-0 early on in the piece. Kurtley Arensay with the try. You just knew that he was going to get one. Oh, John Michael, thank you so much for the super chat. Cheers, buddy. Making sure John Michael is making sure that he is top of the leaderboard, firmly entrenched, defending his crown. Malcolm Marks with the throw, taken by Van Staden, and the Springboks back in possession, marching up to the halfway line. Williams with the box kick. Estebeth chasing through to put pressure on. He takes it in the air, Estebeth. Wallabies managed to hold him up, but he gets to ground now, the big man. Lays it back for Williams, who chips in over the top. Looking for the bounce for Arensay. He gets it, steps back in field. Tom Wright with a try saver. And they've lost the ball there in contact. 5 meters out from the line. Double knock on. Wallabies will get the scrum. But boy, they look absolutely rattled. The Wallabies are just not in this at the moment. And the beauty of what the Springboks are doing at the moment, variety of attack. They're putting the ball up, they're putting pressure on, forcing the mistake, and then they're not afraid to go wide. It really has been a masterclass at the moment. Wallabies first scrum. I'm sure it will be tested. It sets. Big shove from the home side. White retreating behind that scrum. Manages to get the ball out cleanly. Big pressure on the Wallabies here, though. Skelton's back up and about, by the way. Told to use it now. Nick White with the box kick. Sends it into touch. Up towards halfway. It's a good clearance. 7 minutes gone. 7 points to 0. South Africa will have the line-out throw. David Toig, ahoy, mates. This could be bad for Australia. In fact, all rugby nations. Oh, the Springboks. A dream start to the Rugby Championship, right? They're looking good. And that is a big warning shot to the rest of the nations. As Australia steal the line out. O'Connor with the double pump, but that delayed pass made it easy pickings for the Boks defense. Nearly securing the turnover. White pops it up for Wilson. Wilson, a little isolated. Marks gets his hands on the ball, and Malcolm Marks gets the penalty. It's all just too slow at the moment for the Wallabies. The Springboks are just on a different planet. The pace that they're playing the game at. Lebok will step up here and have a shot at 3. Walshy, ahoy, mate. I have slept since the rugby league. I had a fantastic big sleep. Marnie de Lebok, 64% career goal kicker. That can't be right. He is so much better than that. And from 30 meters out, just to the left of post, he should have no problems here. Puts it down the middle. And 9 minutes into this game, South Africa lead 10 points to 0. Boy, oh boy. They've started with such pace. And the Wallabies have not been able to go with them. Not even close. White with the restart, taken down by Steph Totoy. Lebok puts this one high. Not a lot of distance on it. Well claimed there by the Wallabies, who then go ahead and lose the ball. Knock on advantage. Counter attack is on. Bussy. Off the left boot, sends it up over halfway, but straight down the throat of Tom Wright. Wright fires the pass over for O'Connor. O'Connor takes the line on. Loose pass out the back is spelt. Oh, the Wallabies are just making so many mistakes. Towed through. Pressure onto the back. Vandermeer fires it back in field. We've got a whistle as somebody's gone into touch. South Africa all over the Wallabies. Manoj, ahoy mate. Welcome along. Just a cheeky little foot in touch there from Vandermeer. Cyrus Smith says it's going to be a flogging. It's certainly looking that way. 10 points to 0, 10.5 gone. And I'm just impressed by the speed at which the Springboks are playing this game. The Wallabies secure the line-out ball. But everything comparatively looks like it's in slow motion. White has it at the back. The box kick clearance almost charged down by Marks. And into touch, not a lot of distance. They'll still be under the pump here, the Wallabies. So yes, the story of Nick White, hey? Retired at the end of the British and Irish Lions tour, which, yes, was only last month, a couple of weeks ago. And he's already out of retirement. Wild stuff. As Marks throws to the middle of the line-out. Springboks secure possession. This one's loose out the back. Ardency back, retreating and claiming the loose ball. Fussy now steps off the left. Tom Wright nearly has his ankles broken. Nobody at the back here for the Wallabies. The Springboks haven't spotted it yet. Williams receives the offload. Lebok, cut out pass here for Creel. Back inside to Steph Totoy. Keeps it alive for Esterhausen. And it's another try for the Springboks. Andre Esterhausen makes it 15-0. Oh, it's going to be a massacre. The Springboks. Where has this come from? They're playing the game with such pace and such purpose. 12.5 minutes gone, and it's quite possibly game over. 15-0 with the kick to come. Plenty more rugby still to come, though. 7 o'clock this morning. Argentina versus the All Blacks. Can Los Pumas pull off an almighty upset? We are seeing South Africa set the bar for this Rugby Championship. Oh, off the post and bouncing away, the conversion from Marnie Lebok. And it stays 15 points to 0. 13 minutes gone. They're racing the clock at the moment, the Springboks. One-way traffic. The Wallabies need to find a way to get themselves into this game. Oh, Rassie's happy. He is so happy there in the coach's box. And why wouldn't you be? White goes short this time with the restart. And Peach brings it down for the Wallabies and holds on to it this time. Can they string some phases together? They've failed to do so far in the game. Harry Wilson takes it down, 30 out. Skelton from a standing start doesn't make any impact. Here's O'Connor now going backwards. The Boks drive through, put pressure on. Still there for the Wallabies though. Slipper lays it back. White sends it out now to Harry Wilson, who's dumped on his back. Oh, the South African defense has driven them all the way back to halfway. White with the cutout pass. O'Connor has to put the kick in. Keeps it low and flat. Bounces it into touch on the 22-meter line. But they've just got no answers at the moment. Geordie Aussie says, come on, South Africa, show some mercy. Well, they're not showing any mercy. They're flying through in defense. Attacking defense. Marks throws it to the front for Esterbeth. Lays it back down for Williams, and the Springboks set it up in midfield, just outside their 22. Williams with the box kick. High contestable ball. Adonsey chases through and takes it. They're winning the battle in the air with ease at the moment. Diaga up over halfway. Gets up and goes again. Williams to LeBock. Esterhazen, the cutout pass for Fussy on halfway. Well chopped down there by the Wallabies defense. Creel heads back infield. Wallabies offside, and Williams spots half a gap around the ruck. Back to the Ox. Ox burrows under. Numbers out here to the left. Fussy with a nice short ball to Esterhazen. Adonsey in there to clean out. And Fussy goes again. Again, that dancing left-footed step. Putting pressure on the Wallabies defense. They are looking so good here, the Springboks. Van Staden drives forward almost to the 22. 9 phases. LeBock goes out here for Creel. Creel slows, angles back in field. Taken down, and Fraser McWright in over the top, pilfers the ball. Skelton sends it to Ikitau. Flick pass out to nobody. O'Connor cleans it up at the back. Keeps the ball alive, but it's intercepted. Esterbeth bends off. Gets the offload away. It's panic stations from the Wallabies. 16 and a half minutes into the game, and they're playing catch-up footy. Fussy, nice short ball again to Van Staden. Loose out the back for Adonsey. Adonsey from a standing start. 10 meters out, penalty advantage to the Springboks. They could go in again here. Esterbeth in front of the post. Winds up. Lays it back. The pick and go. And away goes Khaleesi. Khaleesi from the pick and go. Puts the big left arm out. Fends off the Wallabies defense. And dives over under the sticks. Stop the fight. Stop the fight. 20 points to 0. Kick to come from right in front. 17 and a half gone. Honestly, stop the fight. The Boks doing it way too easy. From right in front, Marnie LeBock puts it over 22 points to 0. Boy, oh boy. It's not like the Wallabies haven't had preparation as well. Like 3 tests against the Lions. But the Springboks at the moment, they are just on a completely different planet. The pace at which they're playing at, we didn't see anything even remotely like this in the Lions series. It really is quite remarkable. There's somebody's wandering up the tunnel. Wallabies go short again with the restart. Peach gets hands to it. It's gone forward. South Africa come away with it. Down the short side, Esterbeth with the big fend. Offloads to Vandermeer. Drops it back for Marks. Khaleesi flying in off his feet to try and secure the ball, but Fraser McWright does enough. Penalty to the Wallabies for holding on. I'm actually a little bit surprised in some ways. Like, South Africa are showing us a brand new side to themselves, it feels like. And I just wonder if maybe, I suppose they're not playing the All Blacks until much later on, are they? As this lineout goes over the top, O'Connor cleans it up. White onto Ikitau in midfield. Picked up and carried backwards by Khaleesi. Skelton. He can't give the Wallabies any go forward either, Big Will Skelton. Penalty advantage now. Here's an opportunity. O'Connor with some fancy footwork. White now down the short side. Puts the little grubber kick through. Fussy takes his time to clean it up at the back. Advantage played to the Wallabies. Back we come for the penalty. An absolute masterclass at the moment from the world champion Springboks. Yeah, take the three. Take the three. Take the three. Take the three. I'm serious. Take the three. Get yourself on the board. The points are on offer. Get yourself on the board and just settle things down. Like, the scoreboard pressure will still be on, but at least you'll be on the board. O'Connor lines it up for the corner. They're not interested in the three. They're not interested in my tactics, my theory. Get yourself on the board, settle things down, because they're playing way too panicked at the moment. Too much panic. They need to settle themselves down and get some points on the board. Pollard with the line-out throw. It's askew, and this will be Springboks ball. See, take the points. A poor kick into touch. Crooked line-out throw. Springboks ball. Instead of 3 points on the board. There's still so much time left. Look, if this were the second half and there were only 20 minutes left in the entire match, obviously they have to go for the try. But we're only a quarter of a way through this game. There's still plenty of time to make up 19 points if they kick the three. Bizarre tactics. Big mismatch at scrum time in the front row. But the Wallabies make up the weight further back. This one sets. Williams feeds. Stalemate at the moment. The Springboks look to get a second shove on, and it all goes to ground. Play on, says the referee, as Williams sends it out to Esterhausen. Here's the Ox. Still inside their own 22 here, the Springboks. Rolling forward is the Ox. Lays it back. Williams with the box kick. Finding touch. 10 short of halfway. Wallabies line out throw. $22 points to nil. The clock has overtaken the Springboks now. As a Mexican wave breaks out. Actually, are we allowed to call it that still? The crowd starts the wave anyway, and The home fans very excited about how things have gone so far. Uncontested line-out throw. This time the Wallabies have it on halfway. Here's McWright. With the Springboks in over the top, but illegally so. Not rolling away. And a penalty to the Wallabies on halfway. Matty Colkin says, did you see Daniel Ricciardo was in a crash? I did not see that. Danny Rick. I saw that Christian Horner is pretty much confirmed as the new team principal for the Cadillac team. Wallabies fine touch here on the 22 off the back of that penalty again. They go to Wilson in the line out. White chips in over the top, needing the bounce here for Swalihi. Well plucked out of the air, though, by Vandermeer, and away he goes, back upfield. Vandermeer deals it for the Boks. Told to use it, Lebok fills in at scrum half. Gives it to the Ox to set up another one. DJ Shack is like, damn. 22-0 after 23 minutes. Back to Lebok, who clears upfield. Up over halfway. Jorgensen thinks about going quick. Common sense prevails and slows things down. The world champion Springboks playing some rugby that's just on a different planet at the moment. As Pollard throws to the middle, Wallabies ball on their own side of halfway. Ikitau lays it back. O'Connor with the wraparound, almost intercepted. It sits up now for Wilson. Knock-on advantage to the Wallabies. White sends it over to Skelton. Again, this aggressive defense of the Springboks pouring through. And the Wallabies are losing ground. Nick White with the box kick has to get them out of here. Lebok against Jorgensen. Jorgensen keeps the ball alive, but it's scooped up at the back by Esterhuizen. Penalty now to the Wallabies. Holding on. They're starting to get a little bit of possession now. And a little bit of territory. David Tyke. Yes, indeed. Hands down. South Africa are the #1 team in the world for a reason. And we are seeing that reason play out before our very eyes so far here tonight. Can they keep the pace up? Cheers, Matty Colkin. I will certainly check that out. Wallabies throw to the front. Pollard wraps around. Sends it into midfield. Big defense on Tom Hooper. Again, the Springboks defense. Skelton down the left edge. White goes quickly. Wilson carries it inside the 22. Twalihi. Another couple of meters. But the Springboks defense up quick and up aggressively. White to right in midfield. Pollard now sets up another ruck. 6 phases. But starting to go backwards again. Half a meter at a time. The Boks defense too strong. Penalty advantage now as Kwanga Smith gets in over the top illegally. Walehi pops it back for Ikitau. Ikitau to O'Connor. Wraps around and finds some space. Sends it out to the left for Dylan Peach. The Wallabies get their first try. Something to cheer about for the visiting fans. 22 points to 5. And it was Len Ikitau on the wraparound. Created the extra man. Dylan Peach out wide. Well, I had the wrong Wallabies winger in my same game multi. Ikitau, he's had a good start to the game. And he caps it off here with a try assist. James O'Connor from out wide. He moves in. He pushes this horribly out to the right. Doesn't bend back whatsoever. And it remains 22 points to 5. About 10 minutes to go. Just over 10 minutes to go until halftime. But the Wallabies get on the board. I had the wrong winger. It's always the way, isn't it? I've got the right edge. They score down the left. Bugger it. Anyway, will that give them some momentum as the Springboks back underway? Aronsay chases through hard. Estebeth leads the way, though. Wallabies ball, 15 out from their own line. Skelton to White. Ikitau, dummies, spins into contact. He's taken down 10 out. Told to use it now. Nick White has it at the back. Goes to Skelton. From a standing start, Skelton gets away from the first tackle. Lays it back. O'Connor, quick hands for Wright. Great tackle, though, bringing Tom Wright to ground. Flipper, the Wallabies, playing from inside their own 22. Hold to use. Nick White sets up the box kick. Keeps it low and flat. Bounces it into touch. 10 short of halfway. Springboks line-out throw. Still inside the Wallabies half. As back onto the field comes Marco van Staden. John Michael, you flicked through all Stan Sports channels on your IPTV, but none is streaming it. What's IPTV? And straight through goes Esterhausen. He's already got one try tonight. He's 10 meters out. Williams to Estebeth. Here come the Boks again. Loose out the back, though. Scooped up by Malcolm Marks. Marks 10 meters out, just to the left of post. Williams. The crash ball to Khaleesi. And they've crossed over here. Oh, Khaleesi's hurt his knee. He's down. And we've got time off here for an injury stoppage. Khaleesi down for the Springboks. Peach down for the Wallabies. Internet protocol, television. See, there's so many things these days that I thought it might have been some random, like an Amazon Fire Stick type of thing. Well, Dylan Peach is leaving the field. Andrew Kellaway comes on. Got a towel up around his mouth. So he's busted open, maybe lost a tooth or two. Contact here with Khaleesi. Oh, and who came off second best there? Dylan Peach. Yeah, I think he's lost half his mouth full of teeth. Yeah, poor Dylan Peach. He had a little bit of a meeting with Khaleesi's shoulder. And as you would expect, very much came off second best there. as Khaleesi back up on his feet. And we should be ready to get back underway in this one. So the penalty goes to the Wallabies for the obstruction that South Africa ran right before that stoppage. O'Connell finds touch, 10 short of halfway. The halftime break approaches. 8 minutes to go, 22 points to 5. Wallabies go to the middle of the line out again. Ball is secure. Ikitau out the back. Quick hands from Jorgensen over the top to Kellaway. Kellaway in space. Gives it to Wright. Wright kicks in behind. Say gets back and grounds the ball in the in-goal area. But the Wallabies with another breakout. Well, the Wallabies are starting to look slick down that left edge. Goal line dropout incoming. And the Wallabies starting to show some promise down that left edge. Lebok goes short with the goal line dropout. Lost forward by the Wallabies. Springboks have it. Jesse Creel with the clearing kick. Pumps it up over halfway. It bounces into the Wallabies 22, where Tom Wright has an eternity now to return serve. Skews it slightly off the side of the boot, but still manages to get it up towards halfway. South Africa will have the line out. That's a net gain for them. Six minutes until the halftime break. The Springboks with 55% possession leading the way here. Marks goes to the middle. Springboks tap it down immediately. Lebok out to Khaleesi. Khaleesi takes on Ikitau. He's brought down on halfway. Williams goes again. Another wraparound, this time bringing it to the left. Rassie gets up and goes again as he's brought to ground. Williams to the Ox in midfield. Peter Steph-Toy on the crash ball. Staying down the short side here, the Boks. Estebeth with a good strong carry. Back into midfield. 5 phases. 30 meters out from the line. Williams to Lebok, Creel, and Khaleesi standing out wide. Runs over the top of Kellaway. Ball's out, play on. Williams scrambles for it. And now the Ox at the back for Lebok again. Barsi over here on the left. Steps off that left boot. Back in field. Skelton's in over the top, but good clean out there by the Springboks. Dutoy has a run. Takes on Nick White. White clings on, but they're inside the red zone again. The Ox on the crash ball. 9 phases. 22 out. Lebok fires the big cutout pass to Khaleesi. Khaleesi draws in the defense. Pops it back for Esterhausen. Esterhausen tosses it back in field. Tom Wright tidies it up, but is taken over the sideline. And the Wallabies get a penalty. We'll wait to see what that calls for. Diving onto the prone player. Of course, you can't just go to ground on top of a player. That's what's happened there. Keegan, ahoy, mate. Go, Bok. The Wallabies put this into touch. They've only made a few meters. Told to hurry things along as the Wallabies try and stall here. Slipper is down in back play. Referee says, let's get a move along, boys. There shall be no stalling here. Bizza, Panthers, ahoy, mate. As Pollard throws to the front, uncontested. Wallabies go to ground. Inside their own 22. In over the top of that was Lowe. Can't steal it. Told to use it. Nick White sets up the box kick. Almost charged down by Esterbeth. White sends it into touch just outside the 22. The pressure will still be on here. Attacking line-out throw for the Springboks. Just outside the Wallabies red zone. 3 minutes to go until the halftime break. These are big minutes, the championship minutes. Even though they're already a long way ahead. The throw goes to the middle of the line-out. Pilfered by the Wallabies. And James O'Connor thumps it upfield. Nobody at the back for the Springboks. O'Connor, this ball might go too far. It does. It's bounced over the dead ball line. So we come all the way back from where the kick was taken. So unlucky from James O'Connor. Two minutes until the halftime break. 22 points to 5. The Springboks. Big scrum here. Oh, James O'Connor, he saw all that space in behind. There was nobody back for the Springboks, but the ball, it just kept bouncing forward and forward and forward. All the way over the dead ball line. The scrum comes all the way back just outside the Wallabies 22. As the scrum ready to set. Williams feeds. Big shove here from the Springboks. Wallabies retreating. Penalty advantage. Williams breaks away. Cut out pass now for Fussy. Fussy flicks it back to nobody. Scooped up well by Jesse Creel. Creel from a standing start. Still makes some yardage. The toy. We come back for the penalty, and the Springboks might just take the 3 here with a minute until the break. Although it's a long way out towards the sideline. You know what I say? Put it into the corner and go the rolling maul. That scrum was so dominant. They're up 22-5. Put it into the corner. Yes, that's what they're doing. I just want... I'm a little bit selfish, right? I just want another tick off my multi. Win the line out. Rolling maul. Malcolm Marks at the back. Give me a second tick. Come on. Well, the touch finder doesn't get anywhere near close enough to the try line for the rolling maul to come into play. Disappointing there from Marnie Lebok. The siren sounds for halftime. Marks throws to the front, and they've lost the ball. The Springboks. That will be halftime as Nick White digs it out, kicks it into touch, and a disappointing end to the half. The Springboks, who started with so much pace and so much dominance, I mean, they're still well on top. But the Wallabies did manage to fight their way back into the contest. What about the boot on James O'Connor? Yes, just an unlucky bounce, really. It was the right idea. 100% it was the right idea. Base in behind off the turnover. It was the common sense decision, but the ball just didn't stop. Oh, the poor bugger. The bloody ball just didn't stop. It kept rolling. John Michael, you found it on Sky Sports Action. Very nice. Sky Sports Action, hey? And we have got plenty more action coming up here on the Waste of Water Sports. Second half in this one, and then, of course, I'll be back on later this morning as Argentina take on the All Blacks. I guess you could say that pretty hardcore.
You're not hardcore unless you live hardcore.
And now John Michael knows where to find it. Speaking of John Michael, I can only assume that he is clearly ahead on the Wasted Water Sports YouTube MVP leaderboard. Once again, yes, miles ahead. Miles ahead of Geordie Aussie, Dan, and DJ Shaq, who are equal in second place there. I tell you what, John Michael is not letting go of that crown anytime soon. If anybody wants to steal it off him, it's going to take a big second half. Portia Moses, ahoy there. Go Bok. World champion Springboks, dominant in that first half. Right from the kickoff, it took the Wallabies too long to get into the contest. They were playing at just a different level, a different speed on attack and defense. The Springboks were just on a completely different level, and the Wallabies couldn't go with them early. They slowly but surely started to ease into the contest and get some opportunities. The concern, I suppose, if there is any, for the Springboks would be their right edge defense. The Wallabies have had some success attacking left with some very simple wraparound plays. So the Springboks defense not responding to those wraparound plays, those looping plays, and numbering up. So that will be, if they want to work on something, if we want to nitpick, that would be something that they can work on in the second half. Getting themselves numbered up on defense. But anyway, 22 points to 5 here at the halftime break. The Springboks, the home side, well on top here to start the Rugby Championship. Going to have myself a quick break, and we will be back for the second half. But before I go, just quickly, Craig Howarth, ahoy, mate. Glory, glory to the mighty South Sydney Rabbitohs. On you, Craig. Cheers, mate. And yeah, I don't know what happened. We had some technical difficulties, which seemed to be just a once-in-a-lifetime sort of thing. I mean, no jinx, but that has never happened before, and hopefully it will never happen again, where we lost the audio feed to YouTube, but no other platforms. That was the most bizarre thing ever. The microphone was working everywhere but YouTube. It was so odd. But anyways, well done, Craig Howarth. And yeah, I'm assuming that in our absence for that Rabbitohs game, you might have been stuck with some other less pleasant sources. Dan says, I think I may potentially be cursed. The first 20 looked so good for the overs. What's the overs? I reckon overs is probably still looking good unless it's something like 60 points. I think there'll be plenty more tries left in the second half. DJ Shaq says the Wallabies with a mountain to climb, both figuratively and literally, down by 17. But yes, halftime here. I'm going to have myself a quick break, and we'll be back for all the second half action right after this. Thanks for being with us so far. 55.5. All right, so you need 29 more points in the second half. I reckon that's achievable. I think the Wallabies will bag at least some consolation tries, 1 or 2. So there's potentially 14 points right there. The Springboks can come up with 2 tries and a penalty goal, surely. 2 converted tries. Yeah, I reckon you're still on. You're still on. All right. I better have a quick break. Otherwise, I won't get a chance to. And I really, really need to. Be right back. Wasted World of Sports crew, halftime here, 22 points to 5 in favor of the home side, the Springboks. Victor, 84, says we only need 1 more try for a bonus point. Yeah, Springboks, 3 tries already. Ardense scored the first one, which was a tick off the multi, nice and early. And Esterhausen and Polisi scoring the other 2, but then they went a little bit quiet, didn't they? I wonder if, well, I'm sure that they'll talk about it at the halftime break, but wonder if they got a little bit too comfortable, maybe. The Wallabies got themselves into the contest, not on the scoreboard, but into the contest out there in the middle. They started to get some possession and some territory at the back end of that half, because as I'll switch over, actually, to the territory screen, and I think we'll see the half probably ended up a little bit more even than we anticipated. Yeah, as you can see there, it did start to even out a little bit more from where it was. But it'll take a monstrous effort here in the second half. I mean, the Springboks, it was always going to be difficult, I suppose, for them to keep up the pace that they were playing at for the entire game. You can't play at that pace. I don't care how fit you are. You can't play such a tough game like rugby at that pace and keep it up the whole time. They have to have periods of time where the intensity drops. It's just human nature, and it's common sense that it would happen. So the Wallabies need to just hang around and try and take advantage of when those situations arise. Oh, what do we got here? This looks like a half-decent show. From the director of From. Which I do need to catch up on. The Institute, eh? Looks interesting. I mean, it's not sports related, but... For the Springboks, obviously, they just need to keep doing what they're doing. I mean, they're playing the game. We're not used to seeing this from the Boks. I mean, criticisms of South Africa over the years, I mean, not from me. This is not me personally, but I'm just saying criticisms that we do hear over the years about the Springboks, just the lack of variety in their play. They're either all forward based or rely too much on the bomb squad. But I think what we're seeing from the Springboks is just a beautiful all-round game. Played at pace. They've been really impressive here in this opening 40. Can they keep it up? Go on with the job. Dan has got 55.5 overs, so 29 more. Actually, that I'm surprised by the Spring. One area of weakness I wasn't expecting. Springboks at line-out time. Yeah, the number of times that the Wallabies have been able to pilfer South Africa's line-out throw, that's been a surprise. Very unexpected there. So, I mean, that's why I had Malcolm Marks for any time try. Because I really was anticipating South Africa to have line-out dominance. I mean, I don't think that that's... I really don't think that's unreasonable to expect from South Africa. So a little bit disappointing for them at line-out time. Wallabies have had their opportunities there. That's for sure. But as Victor pointed out, only one more try for the bonus point. And that will be a dream start to the Rugby Championship. The Springboks can get a bonus point victory here and go on with the job, as we anticipate that they will. Plenty more still to come here on the Waste of Water Sports. Of course, this game will draw to a close. But then later this morning, we do have Argentina taking on New Zealand. Los Pumas versus the All Blacks. And I'm always curious to see Argentina in Argentina. Can be a completely different prospect to play in Argentina or anywhere else in the world. And I just wonder, will they step up? Will they take the fight to the All Blacks? Going to be very interesting to see. The Springboks set the bar early for this Rugby Championship. And it will be up to the other teams to respond. No less this team here, the Wallabies, who head out onto the field with a lot of work to do here in the second half. So what I need for this second half, I need Jorgensen anytime try, and I need Marks anytime try. So I really need South Africa to clean up their line-out work. Big time. Referee blows the whistle, and the second half is off and running as Lebok gets us underway. Puts it high, lands it just inside the 22, and it's a perfect kick chase. The Springboks look to drive in over the top. Ardense rolls away nicely, but it's still there for the Wallabies. Nick White controls it at the back. Sets up the box kick. Estebeth goes to charge down, but White gets it away up towards halfway. Springboks line out throw. And let's see, it will be an early sighter as to whether the Springboks have cleaned up the lineup. Did they talk about this at the halftime break? As we anticipate they might have. Marks with the throw. Goes to the middle. Wallabies compete. It's scrappy ball. The Wallabies come away with it. So no, they haven't cleaned up their lineouts. O'Connor fires it over to Ikitau in midfield. And a penalty advantage is given. The Springboks offside. And an early penalty here to the Wallabies. Well, wouldn't this be something if they get themselves down in range and come away with the first points of the second half? It would be just what the doctor ordered for the Wallabies, that's for sure. O'Connor finding touch inside the red zone. Nice touch finder. I tell you what, if the Wallabies are going to make any contest out of this, you just feel like they've got to come away with points here, right? Big line out throw for Pollard. Goes to the front. Wallabies secure the ball. Angus Bell intercepts his own team's pass. It was meant for Nick White, but Bell just plucks it out of the air. A little isolated there. Ox is in over the top, but the Wallabies clean out. Still there for Australia. Pollard drives it up. White sends it back down the short side. Bell with a beautiful short ball puts Wilson in a gaping hole, and Harry Wilson scores. The Wallabies have struck first. 22-10 with the kick to come. Will that spark the visitors to life? Angus Bell. Geez, maybe slightly forward that pass, but the try stands. Geez, I don't know about this. Angus Bell. Cheeky little forward pass to Harry Wilson. The try has been awarded. The try stands. James O'Connor with the conversion. I've got to say it looked a little forward. O'Connor moves in, strikes it well, puts it down the middle. 22 points to 12. Game back on. Came back on, and there you go, Dan. 22-12. Not long to go. I mean, not many more needed. Dream start here for the Wallabies to the second 40 as the Boks get us back underway. Big defense driving the Wallabies back inside their 22 as we wait for the scoreboard to update. Wallabies told to use it. White sets up the box kick. He clears upfield. Doesn't find the touch. Springboks go back on the attack as we just still wait for this scoreboard to update on the screen. I assure you it is 22 points to 12 as Williams heads across field. Out the back now for Lebok. Dummies, straightens. Lebok goes straight through. Falls to ground as he breaks the line. Down the short side. Steph DeToy lays it back nicely. Here come the Springboks. Estebeth inside the red zone. The Ox charges forward. They're 15 out. They're 10 out now as the Ox peels off some more meters. Williams to Adense. 10 meters out from the line. They've lost the ball at the back. A cheeky little knock on at the back of the ruck there. And the Wallabies will get the scrum down. What a start to the second half it's been, though, as South Africa roll out some changes. Ben Stunnen goes back off. Kwanga Smith is on. Oh, Geordie Aussie. Channel membership for 6 months of the Benchwarmers. Hey, Geordie Aussie, thank you so much, mate. You should do the Australian-Indian T20 series. And actually, I'm curious to see what that does to the current leaderboard. Oh, Geordie Aussie starting to hunt down Aussie John. The Wallabies are mounting a comeback in the game. Geordie Aussie mounting a comeback on the YouTube leaderboard. Scrum down here. Wallabies with the feed. White delays the feed. What a big shove from the Springboks. Pressure on the Wallabies, but they get the ball out. Ikitau now under threat as the Boks look to counter ruck. Still there for the Wallabies. Peter Steph-Toy attacks the ball, but the Wallabies clean out and hold on. White from 5 meters out puts the box kick in, and he bounces this one into touch. But still well inside their own half here, the Wallabies. They are putting pressure on the Springboks at line-out time, though. So we'll see. About 30 meters out from the Wallabies line, uncontested line-out throw. I can't believe that. And Kwanga Smith straight up the middle. Williams goes left. Through the hands. Peter Steph-Toy standing out on the wing. Quick ruck ball. Estebeth. Nice little inside ball. They're right on the Wallabies 22. And now Lebok with the crossfield kick. Plucked out of the air by Tom Wright, who then spills it forward. Kellaway breaks away, not realizing that the whistle's gone in the back play. And Tom Wright just couldn't hold on there, or the Wallabies were about to break out. Lebok with the crossfield kick, looking for Vandermeer. And the Springboks, one area of huge dominance has been scrum time. We've seen them put on some massive shoves, driving the Wallabies backwards. What can they come up with here? 22 meters out. And an attacking scrum. Here they come. Crouch. Bind. Set. Oh, look at them wind up. The Boks with another monster shove. Front row collapses. Penalty advantage, South Africa. Wrap around here for Williams, who goes straight through. Offloads for Jesse Creel. Creel leaves it behind. So we come back for the penalty. Well, they've got to think about taking the 3 here. Oh, do they? 10 points. 10 points. A penalty goal only makes it 13. No, put it into the corner. Into the corner, boys. I thought for some reason they were 11 ahead and this would put them out to 2 converted tries, but no. Into the corner. Geordie Aussie sending a Wasted World of Sports gift membership. And it has been claimed by Paul Usthausen. I hope I said that correctly. Welcome along, Paul, to the channel membership. Thanks to Geordie Aussie, who continues to mount his fight back. As we've got injury time out here, Len Ikitau is in very bad shape in back play. And I tell you what, Ikitau has been one of the Wallabies' best. So that would be a big loss if he's not able to go on. $22 points to 12. The Wallabies have just managed to hang in there and make a fight of it as Tate McDermott comes onto the field. That is Len Ikitau's night. Well, that's massive. One of the Wallabies' best. He has been an attacking threat every single time he's got the ball. Springboks win the line-out. The rolling maul is set. For the first time tonight, we see it. Here they come. Marks is controlling it at the back. Has to release it now as it stalls. Williams into midfield for Esterhazen. Just to the right of the post here, 10 metres out. Marks carries it to 5 outs. Williams continues to attack left. Esterbeth almost breaks through. Penalty to the Wallabies. They're in over the top of the ball, wrestling it away. A metre out from the try line. What a turnover. Geordie Aussie with another gift membership. Ways. Receives it. Here's Geordie Aussie. As the Wallabies fine touch O'Connor off the back of that penalty. Ten short of halfway. 50 minutes gone, 22 points to 12. Pollard with the throw. Goes to the middle. Ball is secured by Frost. Wallabies immediately release it into midfield where McWright is taken down. And the ruck is set nicely. White. O'Connor with the no-look pass. Fires it over the top for McDermott. McDermott chips over the top for Jorgensen. Jorgensen gets the bounce. Scoops it up with one hand. And it's a try-saving effort from Arensay. Back into midfield. Here come the Wallabies rolling on. Nongor sets it up in midfield. Penalty advantage. The Springboks offside. Angus Bell now. 10 out in front of the post. Fraser McWright steps. Taken down. The Springboks defensive line resets. Skelton to O'Connor. O'Connor dummies. Takes the line on. White goes quickly. Huge cutout pass. Intercepted by Arensay. But we come back for the penalty. And, the referee might be reaching for the pocket. No, but he is calling Esterbeth out and saying no more penalties down this end. Outlaw says poor game from the Boks. Oh, especially Outlaw when you consider how well they started. The Springboks in that opening sort of 15, 20 minutes just looked like they were on a different planet. So the warning has been sent. Geordie Aussie with another gift membership. Hosea XCI has received it. Oh, Geordie Aussie, you're on fire, mate. Cheers. James O'Connor puts it into the corner. 5 meters out. Wallabies go on the attack. 51.5 gone. 22 points to 12. Big throw this one. 5 meters out. Pollard goes to the front. Stolen by the Springboks. Peter Steph-Toy plucks it away. And the Boks dodge an almighty bullet there. And again, the Wallabies' choice to knock back the 3 doesn't pay dividends. Williams with the box kick. Finding touch on the very brink of the 22, so they're still not out of danger. The chance is still there for the Wallabies. Geordie Aussie says, how long in between games? It will be about 4 hours. Stolen again at line-out time. And the Springboks immediately shift left. Arensay with a loose pass that goes behind Willemse and into touch. Now, was it off a Wallaby's hand? Well, that makes it make a lot more sense. Line out throw to the Springboks. Oh no, it is Wallabies ball. So it was just a loose pass here from RNC. (22-12), 53 minutes gone. Yes, Wallabies have chosen line-out throw. Firing it over the top. Nick White claims it. Offloads to Swalihi. Has the ball ripped away. Knock-on advantage to the Boks. Scrum down. Springboks feed. Swalihi. Big mistake. But yeah, the Springboks, that opening 20 minutes was just insane. And then Wallabies have just clawed their way back in. Mistakes creeping into the Springboks game. They've been disappointing at line-out time. That's been the most noticeable thing for me. I mean, I even put Malcolm Marks in my same game multi because I thought for sure Springboks dominant line-out. They'll put it into the corners. They'll win the line-out ball. They'll roll him more. Marks to score, but no, they just haven't done it tonight. This scrum resets. Dan says, I don't think I'm getting 22 more points. Too many mistakes and so much time used at scrums and lineouts. Well, we'll see. I still don't think it's out of the question, Dan. 22 points. The scrum sets. Solid foundation this time from both teams. Front row collapses here for the Wallabies, but the ball's out. Williams goes down the short side for Esterhazen. Gets it on to Vandermeer. Back in field now. The Springboks into the Wallabies half. Ox taken down. 40 out from the line. Skelton goes in to try and steal. But it's still there for Lebok now to Fussy. Cutout pass on the bounce. Vandermeer now straightens the attack. Over into midfield. Lebok goes out the back to the Ox. The Ox with some slick hands. Creel, the cutout pass to Detoy. Detoy puts the right arm out. Gets a big fend on. And flick pass back to Arunse. The Springboks not finding as much space here in the second half as they did in the first. That's not going to stop them from trying, though. Willemse breaks the tackle, goes straight through, brought down from behind, pops it up for Williams. Williams with the goose step, gives it out to Vandermeer, who slips, almost does the splits, and keeps himself in the field of play. And the Springboks knock the ball on. Double knock on, scrum down Wallabies. More mistakes, more scrums, more time wasted. Dan is pulling his hair out there at home. He's about to throw something through the TV. (22 points to 12). As the quality, the standards of this game have just gone down a notch or two in the second half. Skelton leaves the field. He has had no impact tonight whatsoever. But then we sort of knew that would be the case, didn't we? I honestly don't know why they talk Skelton up so much. I mean, he's just a bit... Honestly, this is going to sound very, very harsh, I know. But, like, he is a massive human being. But he's just a big, useless lump. I told you it was going to be harsh. 10 meters out here, the Wallabies with the scrum feed. White. Big shove here from the Boks, but White gets the ball out quickly. Swalihi goes out the back for O'Connor. Fires the pass over the top. And a little bit of space now for Jorgensen. Toes through for himself, but it sits up at the back. Fussy keeps it alive now. Lebok into midfield. Detoy tackled on halfway. Williams looks down the short side. Lebok wanted it quickly. He got it. Vandermeer onto Willemse. And Creel always bends the line here. Jesse Creel. The pick and go from Kwanga Smith. What a legend, eh? Kwanga Smith. Cut out pass is intercepted by Swalihi. Swalihi's in open space. Vandermeer coming back at him. But Swalihi has the speed. and dives over under the posts. An intercept, breakaway try from halfway against the run of play. 22-17, the kick to come. Joseph Swalihi, his first international career try. What a time to get it. Lebok with the huge cutout pass, but all he finds are the big mitts of Swalihi. (22-17), kick to come, and there is still 20 minutes left in this game. James O'Connor from right in front could pop it over blindfolded. 22-19, a 3-point ball game. And dare I say, how many shots at three have the Wallabies knocked back? This game could have been tied up. There's some dejected-looking South African forwards leave the field. Malcolm Marks is off, so there goes my multi. The Boks get us back underway. They go short with the restart. Bobbled by the Wallabies, but doing well to rein it back in. And the ruck is formed. Told to use it. Nick White has it at the back. The Boks kick is away upfield. Going to land on halfway. Wallabies get up and compete. Jorgensen loses it into touch. Springboks line out throw. Just inside the Wallabies half. Geordie Aussie, your 27-all prediction is looking good. And the referee just struggling to show the players where the mark is here for the line out. Wallabies not leaving space. Estebeth takes it at the front. And it's not straight. Oh, I have not seen the Springboks struggle this badly at line-out time in a long, long time. The throw is not straight. Scrum down for the Wallabies on halfway. 20 minutes left to play. And they are getting themselves on top here. Free kick to the Wallabies at scrum time. And it's all just starting to fall apart here for the home side. Rassie Erasmus looking around the coaching box, searching for answers. Nick White from the free kick. Can't find touch, so he puts it high. Taken at the back by Willemse, who claims the mark. Sends it upfield. And finds touch just short of halfway for a Wallabies line-out throw. 61.5 gone. Dan. 22-19. You've got to be feeling pretty good about that overs. Pollard throws to the middle. The Wallabies spill the ball. The Springboks come away with it. Springboks ball on halfway. Bestwell, ahoy there, mate. Go Bok. They've got to settle themselves down here. The Springboks. Williams scurries down the blind side. Needs support. Has it from Estebeth. Quick hands from Estebeth. Pops it up to Van Staden. This is better from the Springboks. Williams goes again into midfield. Lebok onto Farsi. Through the hands now. Esterhausen. Nice flick pass out for Creel. but the Wallabies slide across and shut this play down. Williams goes again. 40 meters out from the line, it goes back. Lebok off the left boot, sends it high, looking for Arendse. Arendse rips the ball away. It's lost backwards, though, by the Wallabies. Play on as South Africa look to drive in over the top, but it's still there for the Wallabies. On just outside their own 22. Told to use it. White's got it at the back. The box kick is set. Estebeth gets through, puts pressure on. And there's a lot of height on this one, but not a lot of distance. Lost by Arendse. Knock on advantage here to the Wallabies. The counter-attack is on. Here's Wright from a standing start. Breaks through. Tom Wright needs support. He's got Wilson with him. Pops it out for Harry Wilson. Wilson puts the head down. Go, big man. And he scores under the sticks. Big Harry Wilson. The Wallabies have taken the lead. Wilson's done a hammy. Harry Wilson's done his hamstring, I think, or busted a knee. But he powered on. The Wallabies have scored under the sticks and claimed the lead. You can't believe it. Incredible. The Wallabies lead. And that's Harry Wilson's night done. Yeah, it's his knee, I think. That's his knee. He can't stand. Harry Wilson scores the try, but at the expense of the rest of his night. 16 minutes left to play as James O'Connor blots the conversion and the Wallabies lead 26-22. Back from 22 points to 0 down. 26 unanswered points to take the lead. And poor Harry Wilson. Well, what a try. But that's probably his night done, you would have to say. Yep. He is being helped off the field here, Harry Wilson, by two trainers. He can't stand under his own power. A good night comes to an end for him. 2 tries. Springboks get us back underway. Taken by Swalihi. 15 to go. Wallabies up by 4. Full of running now. Gleeson on for Wilson. Carries it up. Here's Angus Bell. Bumps off one. Bumps off another. Bell carries it up to the 40. Look at the pace the Wallabies are playing at now. They've got all the momentum. Cut out pass from O'Connor puts Jorgensen in space. Here they go again. Jorgensen steps away and races away to score. Max Jorgensen gets another tick off the multi. The Wallabies go back to back. 31-22 with the kick to come. What is going on? Some concerned faces in the crowd for the home fans. James O'Connor fires the cutout pass to Jorgensen in space. Jorgensen off the left boot, breaks Lebok's ankles. And over he goes, 31-22. You can't believe what we're seeing. James O'Connor lines up another conversion. The Springboks were up 22 points to 0 inside the opening 20 minutes. From then on, the Wallabies just clawed their way back into the game to the point where they're now well on top. O'Connor converts, and it is 33 points to 22. 13 minutes to play. Springboks with the restart. They send it inside the 22. The Wallabies stand there and watch it bounce. Sits up nicely for them, though. 15 meters out from their own line. McDermott controls it at the back of the ruck. Tate McDermott with the box kick. Not a lot of distance on it. Chance here for the Springboks to hit back. Oh, some dejected faces in the crowd. You can understand why. Rassie Erasmus looking around the coach's box, searching for answers. What has gone on here? 22 points to 0 they led after about 15 minutes. They were beating the clock. And then it's been all Wallabies. Estebeth lays it back from the lineouts. Springboks ball on halfway. Smith onto Creel. 40 meters out. Through the hands now. Lebok down the left edge for Esterhuizen. Loses the ball. Does he? No, he flicks it back nicely for Lebok. Quick hands here for Williams. Just inside that far touchline. Estebeth held up and driven backwards. They've lost the ball there. The Springboks, they get away with one. Reinach fills it. Nobody saw it, I think, except for me. Estebeth down the short side. Caught a little bit flat-footed. Back into midfield here for Venter. Springboks, they've got all the substitutes out there. Creel bends the line in midfield. 22 meters out now. Reinach steps in field. Needs support. Swalehi brings him down from behind. 10 meters out. Wallabies pile in, and the Wallabies turn it over. 10 meters out from their own line, a big turnover. Told to use it. McDermott goes down the short side. Here's Gleeson. Gleeson goes to ground. Springboks need to roll away. McDermott goes in and digs it out. McDermott with the box kick. Sends it into touch again. Not a lot of distance. Springboks line out throw, 30 out. They think about going quickly. They decide to hold on to it. Boy, the South African fans in the crowd, Rassie Erasmus in the coach's box, they're just wondering what's going on here. How has it all gone so chaotically wrong for the home side? Wallabies pilfer the line out. Scooped up by O'Connor at the back. Fires it out to Tate McDermott. Everything that could possibly go wrong here for the home side is. 10 minutes left to play. McDermott again has it at the back. The Springboks line-out has completely deserted them here tonight. McDermott puts it high. Wallabies chase through. Pressure on Willemse at the back. Stays in the field to play well, but the Wallabies in over the top of this. Kellaway loses his feet now. Has to release. Still there for the Boks. Aggressive defense, though, coming in here from the Wallabies. Reinach with the box kick. Chasing through hard here is Moody. Bats the ball back. Lost forward now by Kwanga Smith. Advantage Wallabies. Counter-attack is on. Tom Wright puts the kick in. Puts it out on the full. Advantage will be over. Advantage over Springboks. What a let-off that is. 8 minutes to play. It was only a knock-on advantage. Referee deemed it to be over. Dan says, I can see there not being another point. By the way, chat rooms, Dan needs overs, 55.5. Currently sitting at 55. He's feeling like it would just sum up his night if there's no more points in this game. But I'm trying to tell him, I'm sure there'll be another point, at least. As an interesting little piece of play there from the Springboks. They use a line-out lift in midfield from open play. Williams takes it inside the red zone. This game is not over yet. Creel pops it up for Estebeth. Penalty for the Wallabies. The Springboks sealing off. Fraser McWright gets the turnover. 7 minutes to play. The Wallabies defend valiantly. The Springboks throwing everything at them. 33-22. The Springboks, I've never seen that before. They used a line-out lift in midfield from open play. The Wallabies have 7 minutes here to see this one out. It'd be a famous victory. Pangaramosa goes to the middle. Gleeson charges into the Springboks line. Still inside their own half here, the Wallabies. McDermott with the box kick. Again, a lot of height, not a lot of distance. And it's batted into touch by Kellaway. Springboks will have the line-out throw on halfway. But honestly, the way the Boks line-out's been going tonight, the Wallabies might not see this as too much of a problem. 11 points the difference. 6 minutes left to play. The Springboks need to find answers now. Estabeth wins it at the front. They immediately send it out into midfield. Still inside their own half. Reinach told to use it. Puts up the box kick. Estabeth chasing through. Moody chasing through. It bounces awkwardly. Sits up for Tate McDermott at the back. And McDermott breaks away. Tate McDermott straight up the middle. He needs support. He slips on the 40-meter line. Gets up and goes again. Here come the Wallabies. Pangaramosa sends it into midfield on the crash ball. The Wallabies 30 meters out. Directly in front of the posts. Leading by 11. Any penalty here, they would surely think about the 3 points. 6 minutes left to play. The Springboks have just fallen apart. O'Connor on the wraparound. Pops it over the top for Kellaway. Kellaway grubbers. Trapped by Lobok. No look. Flick pass in field. Detoy keeps it alive. Panic stations here. Swally, he flies through looking for another intercept. Almost pulls it off. Esterhuizen now in open space. He's got Jesse Creel on the outside. Back in field for Esterhuizen, who spills it. Tom Wright now breaks away. Tom Wright has the pace. One to beat. Steps off the right foot. Tom Wright wins the match for the Wallabies. End-to-end stuff. And Tom Wright scores the match winner. 38-22. And the Springboks have just self-destructed. That is game over. The Wallabies. What a victory. One of the most amazing sequences of play that I've ever seen. Tom Wright plants it down, gets the thumbs up. Enzo wants to know what it was paying out for an Aussie win. Oh, they were large outsiders. It was over $2. It was well over the $2 mark as O'Connor moves in, puts it on target. 40 points to 22. 4 minutes left to play. 40-22. Unbelievable. Ed Vogel, ahoy, mate. Odd Poppet, ahoy, buddy. Well, we got 2 ticks off the multi as the Springboks go short. It doesn't go 10. And it will be Wallabies ball on halfway. $38 points to 22. By the way, I'm sorry. I think I said 40 before. I got a little bit carried away. 3 minutes left to play. Dan says that we jinxed the Boks with the early overhype. Oh, it's incredible, isn't it? Like that opening 15 minutes, the Springboks were just on a completely different planet. It looked like it wasn't even going to be a contest. And the Wallabies, they just clung in, got themselves on top. The silent hush across this stadium. I'm thinking very hard about whether I've ever seen anything like this before. Siraj Karyam, you're from Cape Town, but support the All Blacks. Speaking of the All Blacks, we will be back in 4 hours' time as Argentina take on New Zealand as the Rugby Championship continues. Scrum down for the Wallabies here on halfway. 2 minutes to play. O'Connor dinks it in over the top. Lands it inside the 22. Beautiful game management here, closing it out, the Wallabies. And securing the line-out throw. It's all smiles there. 50-22. And they are loving life right about now. Pangaromosa with the throw. Wallabies want more points. Goes to the middle. Frost brings it down. Rolling maul is set. And here they come. No, the Springboks get in. Drive them backwards, but they go again. Pangaromosa still has it at the back. They've got to dig it out now. McDermott does just that. Gleeson in midfield. McDermott darts off the back of the ruck. Does Tate McDermott gets a little isolated. Still there, though, for Fraser McWright. 5 meters out here, the Wallabies. Iki Tau back on the field. Somehow, Pangaromosa with the pick and go. A couple of meters out here, right in front of the post. They want more points here, the Wallabies. Gleeson carries forward. Half a meter short. Angus Bell crashes his way towards the line. Another pick and go. They're across the line here, the Wallabies. Held up. Held up with 10 seconds to go. A goal line dropout incoming. Odd Poppet says, what's the table looking like? I haven't checked it yet. Well, this is the first game of the series, Odd Poppet. So the table will be Australia on top, South Africa on the bottom, with Argentina versus New Zealand to play later this morning. Goal line restart gets us underway. Wallabies secure the ball. Do they want more points, or will they put it into touch? Tate McDermott says, we will put this into touch and take an absolutely famous victory. 38 points to 22. And now all the questions can start to be asked. What the hell happened? The Springboks from 22 points to 0 have ended up losing this game 38-22. What happened? Did they get too comfortable and were just not able to wrestle momentum back? At 22 points to 0 after about 15 minutes, did they say to themselves, we've got this one easy, and expect it to all just happen? And the Wallabies took advantage of the complacency. And then as soon as they were behind the Springboks, it was panic stations. Miles all around for the Wallabies. And the Springboks just wondering where they've gone wrong in life. Bloody hell. 38 points to 22. Oh, what a comeback. What a turnaround. I got to have a quick break after that. Honestly, I've been holding in a whiz for like the past 10 minutes. I didn't want to leave. I didn't want to miss anything. I'll be right back. All right. You know what that reminded me of, actually? That reminded me big time of the old days. And what I mean by the old days, of course, is when the Wallabies were just never beaten. It didn't matter how many points you were ahead by, the Wallabies were never down and out. I'm talking about back in the day, Gregan, Larkham, Eels, Herbert, Horan, Burke, Roth. They were just never defeated, and they could find their way back into a contest from anywhere. That's what that performance reminded me of tonight. It was the Wallabies of old. 22 points to nil. They were down to end up winning the game 38-22. Remarkable. Truly remarkable. The warning signs were there pretty early on, though. It must be said. They did some very simple wraparound plays, very simple loop plays down that left edge, and they found some space in the first half. So the warning signs were there early on. They just needed to execute. And the Springboks, despite their quick start, they never looked secure at line-out time, which will always be a problem, won't it? So we're sort of looking back now that everything has kind of calmed down a little bit. We're kind of looking back, reflecting on this game and going, well, yeah, there were little chinks in the armor that we probably didn't think too much of at the time, but have ultimately come back to prove very, very costly indeed. Wow, 38 points to 22. The Wallabies become only the second team to defeat the Springboks since their 2023 Rugby World Cup victory on home soil. And the Wallabies also end a 14-year losing drought in South Africa. Their first test win, Durban, in 2011. And this is what I was talking about. The last time that the Wallabies beat the Springboks in South Africa, in that game, James O'Connor was playing. James O'Connor back into the squad. And they've won again. Crazy. 38 points to 22 here. Anyways, the Springboks completely fell apart at the back end, and the Wallabies get the win. Now, who's going to be sitting up for the next 4 hours to catch the All Blacks game? I know I certainly will be. Well, actually, I might not be sitting up. I am seriously considering having myself another little power nap at the end of this one. I mean, we've got 4 hours in between games. So I reckon a cheeky little power nap before the All Blacks Argentina game at 7 a.m. That's what I'm thinking. But I'll tell you what, the Springboks, they set the bar early. The Wallabies responded within the same game. What will Argentina and the All Blacks deliver? We know that Argentina are a different beast at home. I know exactly what you reckon, John Michael. I reckon that you reckon that you're not hardcore unless you live hardcore. That's what I reckon. Hang on.
You're not hardcore unless you live hardcore.
That's what I reckon you reckon. See, I already know you so well. Cheers. Oh, by the way, let's check out the leaderboard. And as expected, after his early super chat, John Michael, unsurpassed at the top of the leaderboard, clear on 500 points. Geordie Aussie with his huge generosity with the Waste of Water Sports gift memberships, clear in second place. Dan in third. DJ Shaq tied in third spot there. David Tighe in fourth, essentially, fifth place with the tiebreakers and whatnot. Keegan, a new name there on the leaderboard, in sixth place. Odd Poppet doing very well as a later arrival to slot in there at 7th place. The Outlaw in 8th. Craig Howarth at 9th. Judah Shivian rounding out the top 10. But Aussie John Michael, he's done it again. He is the MVP. He is the champion of the stream. Well done, John. What's that, mate? That's like 3 in a row. John Michael says, call the game live from bed. That'd be a bit weird. All right, West Water Sports. Thank you so much for joining me here. And welcome along to all the new subscribers. West Water Sports goes live each and every weekend. We will be covering all the games of the Rugby Championship. So if you've enjoyed hanging out with me here tonight, I look forward to seeing you again. Do feel free to hit the like and subscribe button on YouTube. Give us a follow on Twitch, a follow on TikTok. It all helps. I don't quite understand myself exactly how it all helps. I just know that it does. And I appreciate each and every one of you for doing that, supporting us here at the Wasted World of Sports. I'll be back in a few hours as Argentina take on the All Blacks. Until then, stay hardcore. I'll catch you guys very, very soon. Cheers.
You're not hardcore unless you live hardcore.